So please, you can stop me at any time, and then I'll go back. I'll repeat what I said. We are not using personal mode. We are not using standard mode. We will go on Microsoft's website and we will download on-premise data gateway. On-premise data gateway. Don't forget, because this one too is a typical interview question. Okay. So Michael, can you put in your
Yeah.
email address?
The PatMacTech one on my personal email.
PatMacTech. Everything you are doing on Power BI is based on organizational email.
Okay.
And this is exactly how, when you go to any company to work, this is how it is going to work. You'll be given an organizational email, and that's what you work with. Why have you forgotten your organizational email?
It's on my phone, so that's what anytime I want to log in, I go on my phone and check it.
Hey, bruh. Yeah, it will not allow me to do this one, so you have to do it. Yeah, register new gateway. So give it a name.
Any name?
Um, let's call it what's so let's call it let's call it gateway.
Gateway.
Yeah. Okay. And then recovery key. Let's give it an let's give it recovery key. Let's give it a 8 character minimum recovery key. So like a password.
Okay.
Yeah. So this gateway is going to be yours. So create your own password.
Okay.
So configure. Please, have we all seen how we did it? This was quite simple. So your gateway is online and ready to be used. Now, what is happening is you can see that UK South is where you are.
Okay.
Yeah. And so when you are working with Azure, which is another program, so Azure Analysis Services and Logic Apps, you would have to come in back to come and create an Azure gateway. We are not doing that now. But Power Apps and Power Automate, you have it ready. And the Microsoft Fabric, which includes Microsoft Power BI, you have it ready. Yeah. You can choose to go in through all these ones and then so this one, if Mancasa is not working, I heard you. Please click on close because it's now ready.
So the Power Apps and Power Automate, what was it? And then
Power App.
Microsoft Fabric. Yeah.
Power App is a whole different. So it's like I'll show you from the Power BI desktop when we get there. But it's another whole program where
Okay.
you create an app. You create an app for the data. We call something right back. So you can create an app that will create like a form to allow people enter data for data entry. So whilst they are entering the data, it will be updating your server and then updating your dashboard at the same time.
Okay.
So that is Power App, Power Automate. So that one too is a whole course. But I can show you quickly so that in case someone is talking about it, please close this one. Okay, then. Now that we have, do I still have control?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Okay. So then, if we come back, let me. I've given up control and I'll request again because it seems not to be working. So then, if we come back to training and then car insurance, we go back here and we click on gateway. You now see that you have a gateway installed. Yeah, but it's not configured to pick up this one. So let's go here. And this is your gateway. So now we can configure this gateway. Department, we would obviously be under the IT department. You can choose to give it description. So distribute requests across all active gateway. We don't have any there. Active gateway, allow cloud, allow custom, save. Yeah. So now we have this one. So this was what I was trying to do, but I believe your connection your certificate will be good because mine, so gateway is here. Yeah. So what I'm trying to do is to create a cloud gateway. So when I come to new, it says gateway cluster name. It's the gateway, the on-premise gateway you have selected, and then I'll give a name. So let's call this adventure. I hope your certificate. Oh, me too. Hey, rather. Michael, your computer is not.
No, it's not my fault. This one.
Your computer is not computing. So, Adventure LT 2019. Yeah. So this is just so connection type. We will name it as SQL So where's the SQL server? It's here. And then the server. I bet you haven't opened your. I knew it.
The SQL. Yeah, I'm not using the SQL today, so.
I'm going to give you an assignment using SQL next week.
Okay.
And that assignment, I would expect everybody to do it on their own.
Yeah.
So... Don't worry, you'll be fine. So this is what I want. 1126. And this is what we are doing. So you will come in and paste it here. And then the database, let's go and copy it. I don't want to type it and make mistakes. Let's choose this one. Hey, why? Let's go and type it there.
Mr. Wari, I want to ask, what's the main purpose of the gateway?
So I'm coming. Adventure Works LT 2019. Now, the main purpose of the gateway. Now, you see, if you have an ongoing data entry, yeah.
Yeah.
For instance, you work for Tesco,
Yeah.
and every day people are coming in to buy. Every day people are coming in to buy. Okay. Your dashboard that you have prepared, you have developed now needs to pick up the daily sales that people are making.
Okay.
How would it pick up the daily sales that people are making? It needs to be connected to the database where those data are coming. Yeah. Which means that
Okay.
every morning you need to set up time or a couple of times where the data will refresh, and then it will pick up the ones that have come in that is not showing on the dashboard. The link between the dashboard and then the database is what you are creating. That's what we call the gateway. So you
Okay.
create a gateway for the dashboard to be able to pick up the data from the
So you don't
database.
need to, Mr. Patrick, so you don't need to be doing the dashboard again.
No,
It
so that
automatically
you
goes.
don't. Yes, so that you don't need to be doing the dashboard again.
Okay.
Let's choose this one. If this one doesn't work, we'll come and choose Windows.
So, Mr. Patrick, like it becomes interactive immediately you refresh,
Immediately you refresh, so you don't need to go back to go and recreate anything. If you are recreating something, it should be something that I would say. If you are recreating it, if you are recreating it should be a tweak that will come into something you are adding to it, something that is not on it and you are adding to it. That's the changes you make. But the dashboard will remain the same. The link, everything will remain the same, and it can be used every day.
Okay.
You get where I'm coming from?
That means you will not be relevant again if you are not there.
You'll be relevant. You'll be relevant. Why won't you be relevant?
At least they can refresh and get their listing.
Put in your password there.
Okay.
You'll be relevant because all the time, but this gateway, the data should come in.
Can I click on create?
Yeah. It says unable to create the premise gateway service account field to impersonate the user. Okay. Played back with login and username. Please have this information handy if you choose to create support tickets. Payload from gateway service. Okay. So we need to work this. You can do, let's do public and see. Public crowd, it didn't mind us. It didn't mind us. It didn't mind us. So the organization or this one. Ah, look. No, the name doesn't matter. This one. Ah, no, works. Okay, 2019. Let me go back and check. Now I am sure this is true. So why is it failing? Let's use basic and see. Please enter your password. Let me see. Let me just select this one. Create invalid credentials. Enter your password properly. Invalid credentials.
Invalid connection credential.
Let's change from basic. Again, let's check. Wait and see. See, says unable to create connection for following reasons. Unable to connect data source. Either the data source is inaccessible. A connection timeout. I will take the inaccessibility. Let's change the data source and see. Let's change the data source and see. Let's see another gateway. Geez, my eyes. Maybe Microsoft there, you have PatMacTech. Let's try PatMacTech and see, because we created that in it. So let's do the data source. Hey, why? The gateway is okay. So um um created. So it was the name. Okay. So it has given it a creation ID. And that's how you work it. So then if you come to connection, you see this connection is there, PatMacTech, but this one wouldn't be able to connect to your dashboard because the data is not in PatMacTech. The data is on your computer. You see that thing? So there's no way that in your company you will get data coming from your computer. There's no way. Because of data protection, it will not happen. Yeah, it will not happen. But for the sake of what we are doing, we are going to install the personal mode, but I will not advise you to use the personal mode. Always use the gateway, the on-premise gateway, this one that we've downloaded. But for the sake of what we are doing, let us install the personal mode and then work that one so that you see how the refreshes would work. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's install personal mode.
So Patrick, while we're waiting, what's the difference between this standard personal mode and the other one that we are supposed to get the gateway?
Okay, so this personal mode works when the data is on your personal computer. Yeah. And then you'll be refreshing it. Your computer would have to be on for it to work.
Okay.
Yeah. Standard mode works on another computer. So if your data is on premise in the office, fine, it will work. Also, the computer needs to be on for it to work. But the on-premise that we went to download from Microsoft's website can work over the cloud because Microsoft has not activated their cloud refresh. So when we go, I'll show you the cloud refresh. They have not activated it, but it's there, but it doesn't really work. So what happens is if you install that on-premise on-premise mode that we want to download, then you would use that to link to the database over the cloud. And then when you connect, that one would work when the computer is not on.
Okay.
Yeah. So even if you go as a developer, you go for annual leave for 1 week, the dashboards will refresh without you being around. You get where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
But once you use any of these personal
for
mode and standard mode, it will refresh, but your computer would have to be on, which means you, the developer, because you've installed it on your computer, it's not going to happen. Yeah?
Yeah.
But my own, when I was doing it the last time, if you would remember, it wasn't connecting because my computer uses Windows 10 and Microsoft has stopped supporting Windows 10. So the certificate will not, but you see Michael's own, once we got the logins right, it didn't ask for any certification. Michael, what's the level of your computer?
Core i7.
Eh?
It's Intel Core i7.
But it's Windows 11, yeah?
Yeah, Windows 11.
Now, the reason why we have installed this developer server is because of this integration service catalogs. Yeah. Now, when we expand this, you get integration services catalog here. Now, when you right click it, you see create catalog. You click on create catalog, it will bring you here. You enable CLR integration. All you are doing is that you are enabling Visual Studio to access this one. Then you set password. So, Mr. Bona, your caps lock is on. Set password, please.
Is it the other password?
Any password. If you forget, I will not be able to save you.
Okay, let me use my PatMacTech password.
Practically, IT will do this. Practically. But we are doing it. Should there be a case where we'll be asked to help? Do you get it? By the time,
Okay, my own said try again. Sorry.
try again. How?
I don't know. It just said the following error has occurred.
Which I'm coming. We will come to yours. But that's weird. Hey, Mr. Bona.
Yes.
Your
Sorry.
password is a statement. Michael, are you following?
Yeah, I'm following.
Okay.
Yes. Your password. They say password you have typed do not correspond. They are not the same. Mr. Bona. Very long password. Okay. So now you realize that once you've gotten here, once you've created, you would now. Okay, so we have SSIDB, SSIS database here. So after we've done what we are coming to do, you see this one expand. So let's hold on here. Let's sort out the rest of the guys. Mr. Bona, can you stop sharing? And Michael,
Yeah, Mr. Patrick.
did it work?
Yeah, I'm on it. It's loading. I finished. I've downloaded the SQL. I'm done with it. I'm on the SQL.
SQL?
Yeah, what you just did with Mr. Bonus when you changed the database engine name to PatMacTech. Then let me share my screen so that you see.
Yeah, I'm a little bit confused because I think you have done that already. Oh, Michael.
Yeah.
No, no, no. You are doing a typo, a typo mistake. Oh, PatMacTech can connect. Hey, no mistake. I left the UK. That's left UK. Did you type PatMacTech UK?
No, I type PatMacTech, only PatMacTech.
You typed only PatMacTech.
Yeah.
So that would be your instance name.
Okay.
So this one should connect. All right, so we call on Visual Studio. Now, this one, as I have said, you are not really, unless you become, you work in the integration side, you are not really going to see it, but it is important you know. So if you call on Visual Studio, we will create a new project. So I am assuming that the integration is sorted. So you come to integration service project, you click on it, and then you go to next. Now let us name it, let us call it PatMac, and then let us change where we want it to be. So let's go to desktop, let's look for SSIS. Which one is the trust? I don't trust this one. All right, so let's put it here, and then we'll place the solution and project in the same directory. Then we'll go to create. So once we hit on create, Visual Studio is gonna open this for us, and then this one is just a welcome thing, so we get it out. So we have SSIS toolbox here. This SSIS toolbox, what is going to happen is that you see your data flow. So what we are going to do is that we are going to create a data flow from our source into SQL Server. We can also create a data flow from SQL Server into Excel or from SQL Server into any format. You see that thing? But at the end of the day, it's a data flow. This moment, we are just going to concentrate on the data flow from a source to the SQL Server. Now, the source to the SQL Server, the format is the same. just that the destination, the source and the destination is what will change. You see that thing? The source and destination is what will change. Okay, so once we get here, under the SSIS toolbox, yeah, we have favorites where we say data flow and execute task, SQL task. We are concentrating on the data flow. So what we will do, please, if I'm speaking and you have any questions, stop me. Because once I finish this one, the course is done. If we'll come back to it, it will be revision. Okay. So when I lift this one, I will click and hold. Then I'll drag it and come and put it here, the main space where we are going to work. So I don't know why it's so it is here. So now we've started our data flow. We can right click and edit, rename it. We can right click and rename it. So let's rename it to say test. Yeah. Now we have it. So then we need to now continue. So as our data flow task has been set, what we can do now is to either right click it and go to edit, or we will double click it. Then it will open the data flow for us. Okay. So as we come into the data flow, the first thing we need to look out for is to set up our source. Yeah. Okay. So this time we want the source to be an Excel format. So we will come, look, it's not here. When we come to other sources, we will see Excel source here. We will hold, drag, and put it on the main face. So we have Excel source. Now, what we are going to do is to now link our data flow Excel source to our main document where the Excel source, where the Excel is being stored. How are we going to do it? Either we right click and go to edit, or we will double click. When you double click, it will open this editor for you. At the left of this editor, you will see connection manager, columns, and error output. This one would give you access to the connection manager where you can connect your source. This one would represent the columns where you would check and see if the columns you have selected is what you want to see. And then this one will show you how errors will be reported. So you can see this one is empty. So we come to new. We need to set up a new connection. Set up a new connection. Then we will browse. Just like we are doing in SSMS, you go to new, you browse, you look for where this thing is stored. So let's go and look for, so let's go to desktop. Is it data? Let's use this test as our source. We double click it. Yeah. Now we brought it inside. It's a Microsoft Excel 2007-2010 version. First row has column names. We say okay. Yeah. Okay. Now we come down here. Name of the Excel sheet. When we click it down, it should be able to pick up these sheets. So we now select it. Then we come to columns. Now you realize that these columns are what are, let me just open it for you to see. Let me just open, and then you go to data. And then this is the test. So when I open it, this is the name, the column name. Yeah. This is the column name. Okay. So meanwhile, let me close it. You must have it closed before you can work on it. Meanwhile, in SSMS, okay, you will understand why it's why it is like this. You were not supposed to see this first, but you will understand why it is like this. So meanwhile, in SSMS, I've got the table set up which are empty. Yeah, I've created the table with this with the same column names, which is empty. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to link that table that I just opened to this one, and then I'll have the data here. That is the end goal. The problem is the data types. So let me come here. If you can see columns, you see the data type here. Yeah, the data type here is not the same as the data type in on the Excel. Yeah, so you see what will happen. So let us now go back. So these columns that you've just seen is what we are seeing here. So I can decide to say that, look, I don't want to bring in the thumbnail photo and then the thumbnail photo link. I don't want to bring in that. Yeah, so I will uncheck it. When I go to error output, this is how error output would come if there are any errors. All right, sure. And then I'll say, okay. So now this is now set. Yeah. Then I'll come destination. I'll come to order destination. Now, when it is SQL Server, the how do you call it? The format that you use is called OLEDB, OLE database. And then you have it here. Yeah. So you do the same thing, you click, hold, and drag, and come and put it here. Now, before you set the destination, you hold this arrow. You click, hold, and then drag it and come and put it on the destination. Yeah. What is happening is that you are now going to move all data into this destination. Then you set up your destination. Is someone talking? No. All right. So you double click it and then you open the connection manager. What do we want to connect? We don't have anything, so we come to new. I set up all these ones. But let me go through the setup for you to see. So when you click on new, it will tell you that the provider is not supported. Choose a different provider in Connection Manager. You click on OK. It will open this for you. Yeah. When you come to provider, who is the provider? You click the drop down. We are looking for Microsoft OLEDB provider for SQL Server. We click on it and we say OK. Then it will give you now, what is the server name? We'll go and then we will go and copy the server name. That's the new one that you've done. We'll go and copy the server name. And then we will come and paste it here. Yeah. All right. Select or enter database name. Now, if I come here, it should give me the database name. Then I will select the database name. Or if I want to, but this time I'm not attaching a file. I'm not attaching a database file. So that's fine. All right. So then I'll click on OK. And it will select it for me. Yeah. And then I'll say OK. It will bring it here. Now, if I come here and I click on it, it has given me the table that I created called trial. So when I created the table, this is the table. Yeah. Now it has found it and is giving it to me. Then I'll come to mapping. Now, if you see here, this is the input, the source, and this is the destination. So you say available destination column, available input column. But when I came here, the thumbnail, I said I didn't want to see it. Yeah. So now I need to check if this is giving me what I want to see. Now, row. Okay. So this one doesn't have anything going into it. So this is going to be empty. Yeah. Okay. And then we'll move on. And practically it is what it is at the moment. Yeah. Okay. So now that I am satisfied that all these things are on, I'll click on OK. Or I can even check. So if there's error, this is what it should write, a failed component, and it will show you the component. Yeah. Then I'll say OK. Now, once I have done this, I can start it to test. Now, I am sure that this will give me errors. Why? Because of the data types. Because of the data types. I don't know the default data types that they said, but if I can run it, but this one, if you are sure of what you are doing, that one is not really relevant. Then you come to SSIS packages. This is your package. So when you right click it, you come to execute package and then deploy package. Yeah. You will hit execute. Then it will start executing it. Now, these are all the errors. The name cannot convert because the Unicode string, the product name cannot convert. The color, almost half of it cannot convert the destiny because of data type. I was expecting this. Now, if what you have done is executed, then you can come here, click on deploy, and it will open this for you. You go to next. Next will tell you SSIS SQL Server. Yeah. If you are using Azure, this is the cloud one, you would select this one. But here we are using SQL Server, so we'll take this one. You go to next. Now, what is your server name? I can choose to browse and go to local network. It will try and retrieve it for me, but this is delaying. I'll say no. I'll come here, I'll paste it. That's my server name. When I click on connect, when it connects, this path will open. What is the path? I'll browse. I want PatMacTech as the path. If PatMacTech is not there, you can create a new folder or a new project. Yeah, that will give you, then you name it. But this one, I've got a project there already. So I'll say PatMacTech. Okay, let's just create a new. And then let's say PatMac. And say okay. You see PatMac is now on. Yeah. Then you click on okay. So PatMac will now be a new project. Then you click on next. So now you've set up your link here. All you need to do now is to say deploy. They will all say passed. Pass. Now, this one would work if your execution or your data types are the same. So when this one is done, you can close it. Then you come back to SSMS. Now, in SSMS, when I come in, let me refresh everything. and then refresh. I come to integration service catalogs. When I open it, I'll see my SSIS DB, the one that we created. We say create is here. Then I will open it. I'll see PatMacTech. I will open it. I'll see projects. I'll open it. I'll see PatMac here, the project that I created. It was successful. Then I'll open it. Packages, open it. This is my package. Now, when I click, if you want to check if it worked, when you right click on packages, you can either configure, execute, or validate. But this time, I want to see the report. I need to see a standard report on all the executions. Then I'll click on it. You see, it says it failed. It failed. Okay. How am I going to see? So I'll go to overview. What failed it? Then I'll go to messages. So messages, I will now see that there were errors during task validation. Now, this problem is because my, how do you call it? My operating system, Windows has stopped supporting it. So Windows cannot validate what I am doing. Therefore, it has failed. But if I'm able to validate, this should pass. Any questions? Are the people there?
Yeah,
Hello?
we do. We're here.
Well, it's like everybody's quiet. Why am I? It's what I'm saying. This is simple, like very, very, very simple. It's like spelling. It's very, very simple. So, if this should be validated and this should pass, then what is going to happen is, anytime you enter data in the source data, this is going to refresh every morning. Yeah. Therefore, the data, because this is failed, we are not going to see any data in the trial.
So okay, Patrick, so it's going to refresh because you've set the gateway.
Yes. So when this refreshes, then this table should now contain the new data. So if this table contains the new data, then Power BI can then pick up the data from this table. So let's assume that your data is coming from a third-party software. Yeah. So what is the third party? Let's use a church third-party software. Yesterday, I went on a church's third-party software. Come on, this thing should go away. Let me check it here and see the name. Not this one, not this one, not this one, not this one, not this one. Did I do it here? Not this one. Oh. Wait. Is it this one? Yes. It's this one. The software is called Realm. What's the plan? So Realm Connect and multiple. So let's assume you are using a software to take your data. Yeah. And then you come and then you want to link this software, yeah, because you need to download it and then start taking data. So you need to link it to your SSMS, which is something that you should be able to do. So this software should tell you the format in which the data is being produced. Usually, is called ODBC. Yeah. So once the software provides that for you, what you need to do is now come here and set up a new project. When you go to File, New, you go to Project. So you set up a new project, and then still is integration. Integration, go to next. You call it church. You leave everything the same. Go to create. And then you come, you set up your data flow. You double click your data flow. Now, the source would then be, where is ODBC source? Order. ODBC destination. ODBC source is here. Then you bring ODBC source. You double click it. Then you go to the new connection manager. So here, this is where you are going to connect your ODBC. So this one, so connection string, then you build a connection string. So this is where you are going to connect your ODBC to the source. Once this is connected, then you can come in and then set up your destination, which will be OLEDB. Hey, did I say source? I want it as destination. So destination. Then you can link it. So when you deploy, then all the information that is being stored here, that is being entered by the receptionist here, at a certain point that you will set, will be then pulled into the SQL Server. Then you have access to it. Then you can link that table in the SQL Server to Power BI, then to create your dashboard. Any questions, please? Any questions, please? Okay.
I don't have.
Okay, so this is SSIS. We've just done one part, that is bringing the data from Excel into, but since my validation is not right, it will fail. But if you go through this path, it would pass. And then I need to get a new computer. If you want to do it from SSMS or SQL Server to Excel, let's try this and see. So let's delete this one. Delete this one, the same data flow. So the source, let's go to OLEDB source. And let's set up new. Let's take this one. And then this one doesn't contain anything. So let's come here. Let's set up a new one. Let's set up a new one. Let me leave it on native OLEDB. Do we still have? Yep. No, I don't want that one. That one doesn't contain anything. So we will go into the Express. See if it will work. Other than that, we would have to attach one, and then database. Let's go and get, do we have, which one is this one? Yeah, let's try this one. This one is small. Copy and then put it here, and then click on OK. Okay, so which means this one is not right. 1 second. Copy. Let's get what we got for the other one. Okay, so let's set it. So once we set it, we say okay. So here you see we've seen all the data inside. So let's just take the employees and say okay. Now let us come to destination and Excel destination. Let's link it and then see what this one will get us. Let's go to new Excel path, browse. Let us create a new Microsoft Excel worksheet and call it test one. And then we'll say we'll give it to test one. Say okay. And then say this one, mapping. It doesn't have anything to map it to. So let's see if it will work. It will not work. Employee ID comes there. We should have created this thing, but let's just use this to see how it will come. Say okay. And then let us go and execute execution. It will go round. And then hey, now it is executing. So we can now set our parameters and we don't need all that for the moment. What is this saying? It says ready at the repository. Why has this brought me here? So package execution completed. Click here to switch. Okay. So now if we come here, we say deploy. Next. No, we are not going into SQL Server. We are not going into SQL Server, so maybe we don't need this one. So then we would then come back. Let's come and check if we've seen something. Test one. And something should happen. You see, it has now deployed it. It's executed it here. So now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which we didn't put there. If you check the data, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It didn't bring this one. So this is how you go around it. So if we had created, let's go and do this. You don't have to keep this on. Let me remove this. Okay. And then the first one, so it's employee ID, name, department, and salary, yeah? Say employee ID, name, department, salary. Okay, save it. And then we get out of here. Then we've set everything up. Okay, let's come to destination and then come to mapping. We have it, so let's map employee ID. Have we mapped salary already? Let's map salary. Okay, say okay. And then let us execute. Something is wrong. Name cannot be converted. Unicode is, I told you, mind this thing. The Unicode is not going to work. Let me see if I can do something about it. So then, if I come to the employee, and then I go to column, it's integer, varchar, integer. Integer, varchar, integer. La, 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 where are you? So, okay. So what I can also do is try to merge it, which means I'm going to introduce a new middle person, a merger. So I'll come here and I'll put a merger here. So if I click here, I can then write down that these people where is this? Right. So I can delete it and then put a merger here. OLEDB input merge one. And then I would merge it here. Merge 2 has no available. Okay. I want to force it. Use merge join. Oh no. This one is like I'm going to join the tables. Where is this thing? Order transformation, import columns. Resource destination, multicast. Multicast, let's see what multicast will bring. Okay. And then we see execute and see. Nah, it's still giving me the same thing. It's my validation. But if I don't bring in anything, but you saw how the 1, 2, 3 came through. If your validations are working, that's how everything is supposed to come through. You get where I'm coming from? Hey, people are not talking, Jesus.
You're here, Mr. Patrick.
Yeah. So, employee ID. Remove this. This one means there's something to be done. So it goes, you execute it. Then you can come and check your new, and you should see it's like, this is how you are supposed to see something. If my validations were right, this is how I was supposed to see it. Any questions, please?
So this process is longer than
Than expected. No, it's not.
Okay.
It's not too. It's not long like that. You go to your flow, your data flow.
Yeah.
You come to the your flow task. You come to the data flow. You set your source. You set your destination. You configure your source. You configure your destination. If all is right, you would execute and deploy. Even when you come to SSMS, let's come back here. You can come in and then do the execution too here. So when you right click, you can configure it from here. You know, it's ready. And you click on OK. It would do the configuration just like you've done. And then you can execute it. But obviously this one too is going to fail. You know, say, and it's executed. You see, so Operation ID 7 has started. So it will take time for it to execute. So if I need to see the overview, I would click on see overview, and this will be how it will be done. Messages where I know it's going to fail again, and error, it's failed. You see. So that's it. So for instance, let me show you something. Let me stop sharing from here and then come and share from here. So now we know that this computer is up to date. So let me quickly join my VPN. Hey. Oh. Let's just hope it join. Okay. It's not going to join. Because if it doesn't join, it will be difficult for me to show you. Before I show you that, let me pause this.